morning everybody, it's Chris here for Zone Education with the 4 major analysis update for the 7th of February 2011. We're going to be doing the 4 majors this morning, starting with Euro against US dollar on our CTC 6-screen strategy template. And we're going to have a quick look at the daily time frame. You'll notice that the Asian markets, as of Sunday evening open, we've seen the pair find a bit of support at a support area. You'll notice that we've had a saw the price find support where we had a previous swing. I'll just put that in. This was a previous swing, and you can see the price actually traded below this on Friday, but we closed higher. So even though it was a down day, we still closed up higher than a previous support area, and sure enough, we've seen price seem to find a bounce on that. So above the 1357 mark, if I'm not mistaken, open at 1356.70, and we've seen a rally during the Asian market session. Going into the European session open GMT now, you can see we're taking it slightly, we've pulled back slightly, not a hell of a lot, but ideally if we're going to see a bounce over here like we've seen over here, then obviously we want to see it trading higher than the Asian market open. But ideally we want to see a close higher than this candle here to confirm bullishness and a reattempt of the highs that we saw here on this particular candle at 138600. So close higher or trade higher than 136480 sometime today or in the next couple of days would see further upside movement. CTC is still blue across the board on a daily, so we should still be looking for some potential to the upside. Now intraday we're going to see downside movement. Then obviously these 2 days, this over here almost being an evening star formation. You could see the indecision. So you have indecision, decision candles. So on this decision candle here, far engulfing this one over here, so showing a bit of bearish sentiment. This is after topping out at 1385, which happened to be another previous support and resistance level in the past at some stage. Very negative, but to cancel that out, obviously we need to see a close higher than this candle here. Okay, as things stand now, we're seeing a bit of a pull back slightly. So as it goes, what we want to do, if you want to see further extensions to the downside, it would obviously need to close lower than this candle, okay, which would take it below the 20 period moving average, as well as the support area, this being a previous support. Okay, you can see it's now trading above it. So what we want to see further downside movements, obviously a trade lower than this candle here, so trading lower than the close of 1357.90, but anything below 1355 in my eye, or even to make it even better, well below that, let's make it 1353. Okay, because then we'll definitely have a close lower, and we should be definitely showing an opportunity to go short, not necessarily on our daily but our intraday. Okay, so let's have a look at our intraday time frames. You can see now on our larger time frames we're trading below the 2 short-term moving averages, the 20 and the 50, and the same goes for our hourly. And at the moment now we're trading, if you look at a 30-minute time frame, we're trading within a consolidation pattern. This consolidation is occurring previously, so 13.6 to 20, you can see a definite support and resistance area here, and now what it's doing is, even though it's trading above the 20, these 2 short-term moving averages, the 20 and the 50, it's now finding resistance at this level. Now, ideally, we want to be trading above that, this area here. I'm just doing a quick box pattern. I like trading with boxes. There we go. So we want to be trading above that noise. Okay, for all you intraday traders. This is a 30-minute time frame I'm looking at here. Let me just make this nice and thick so you guys can see it. Okay, so noise, breakout, the pullback, and now we're trading just on the underside of this support level, previous support level that we saw on the 4th and the 3rd. Okay, CTC is negative. We have gone blue, but this is going to stand for nothing unless we're actually trading higher than all this. If we do trade higher than this, then we've got a lot of room between this top here and here. Okay, that's what we want to be trading. Free air. Okay, we don't want to be trading obstacles, and you can see between the 200 period moving average here at 1372 and 1377 there's another 50 pips. So We want to be trading higher than all this, okay? So the first thing we need to do today, if you're going to see further upside movement, is obviously you want to see it trading higher than 13,620, but ideally above 13,655 at least, or 60, 66. 1366 would be great. But then we have a breakout, pullback, and then what we're looking for is that continuation to the upside. And that's what we want to be trading, this. Okay, we don't want to be trading that because we can get caught into that. Remember, the sentiment is still negative. Okay, we're still governed by this negative sentiment. And you can see that there's a trading opportunity between here and at least the 1372 mark, where the trend line, as you can see here, is there for us to use. Okay, so higher swing highs, you can see that. Okay, the previous swing is higher than this one, so we have a bit of upside momentum. This is this consolidation, okay, that we're seeing, but this consolidation now has taken us to this previous support area. Now we know is resistance. We want to see if it's continue going up. We want to see it trading above all this first, for us to first even think about capitalizing or getting into it, because we can trade this free air here, a genuine pip movement. Otherwise, what could happen is we could see a break higher, only for it to get mixed up inside this, and then for it to fall back down again. As we have a breakout, see the same thing over here. We had a breakout, pullback, and then a continuation. Breakout, pullback. We could see a continuation if we don't see a break higher than this. Okay, guys, that's euro against US dollar for this morning. I'll be back next with the sterling against US dollar. Okay, the next pair we're having today, or looking at, is the sterling against US dollar. I'll look at the daily time frame. Here again, Friday's trading range, we saw price actually pull right down, and then during the latter parts of the US session we saw price manage to pull back slightly. This has left us with some sort of hammer formation. This and what you want to do to see if there's definitely a hammer formation is obviously see more building to the upside, ideally close higher. Excuse me. We can see straight away that the market sentiment is to the up. Okay, we've got definite swings to higher, but you can see that price did test a previous high here at 13,630. It didn't quite reach it, but we did attempt a high, and as you can see, price has pulled back on that. But if you want to see the CTC still confirm direction trend, then we want to see, especially today or going into the latter part of this week, price trading higher as we speak. So if we do find support higher than the low here, for example, I'll just put this in so you guys can see it. Okay, the low or the close of 13,611, we need to stay above that. Okay, we use that as a governing rod. Okay, to show us that if it closes below than this low here, then we could definitely see an opportunity for shorting, for a potential short to the previous, in this case, low, which was the previous high. Oops, I can't get this right. I'll just use this. There we go. There, it's 1600s. Okay, so if during the course of the day we have a close lower than this low here, or the close, then there's an opportunity for us to scalp some points to this level here. So from 1610 to 1600, there's a good 100 pips in that. Okay, so what we're looking for, if this is to continue being bullish, then we want price to obviously stay above the, ideally the high of this candle, but if it can stay above this area here, that area there where it is now, okay, it doesn't trade any lower, and going into the US session we don't see it falling low, and then we could see an opportunity to actually scalp pips to either this high here that we've seen here. You can see that there was resistance at this level here, so between where it is now, okay, at 1615 all the way up to at least 1620 or 1619. Okay, not much, but that would be an opportunity intraday. Okay, because you can see the wicks long on the pullback. Market sentiment pulled the price down, but we're still able to see the market close higher to the upper end of this range, trading range. It's a long trading range. It's almost the same size as this one here. And by doing so, even though it was negative, I was showing that the market sentiment was changing. The outputs, or the inkling was that we were likely to see further upside movement, And now what we want to do to confirm that is to either see the price still staying higher than this high here. So anything above this level here would be ideal. So anything above 16, 13 at least would show that the market sentiment is still favoring an upside. If not, we need to see it trading lower than 16.10 for it to even contemplate looking at the daily trend. Excuse me. Or previous support or resistance, in this case here, 1600 as our next target. Okay, so intraday, you're seeing this momentum. You can look at the 4 hour, for example. Swing direction. These swings are still higher as we've gone up. Okay, you can see that we've found a bounce on 1605, which was previous resistance. Okay, it needs to stay above 1605. Okay, in order to see further extensions to the upside. Okay, so now we've got a bounce. So now it needs to stay above that 1605 area, and ideally be trading above the all-time high at 1625 to see further extensions to the upside. See what I'm getting at? Okay, so if this is still to remain positive, it needs to still stay above 1605 or 1610 on a 4 hour to show that that market sentiment is still. Otherwise, what we're going to do is we're going to see it fall below that and be trading below the 1610, which is the daily here I told you about, 1610, and then we could see 1600 being reattempted because of that. Okay, and you can see on our 30-minute and our 5-minute we're trading above the 200 period moving average now, which is great. That momentum still needs to keep pushing higher. Okay, it needs to be trading above this previous high here at that level to start with. Oops, this line is not straight. Sorry guys. Important I get these lines straight for you guys. Okay, so at least 1670 on an intraday. This is a 30-minute time frame because it's breaking the previous high point. That would have been it there. We've broken this downtrend now on this time frame. Okay, we've got swing highs on the smaller time frame. You can see the swing highs as it's gone up. Now it's trading above all the moving averages. It needs to break higher than this for us to think about going long to at least this level here. Okay, so that's sterling as it stands. CTC overall trend is still blue to the upside on our bigger time frames. Intraday, we need to be seeing it trading above the 1610 mark. So if it can stay above 1610 at least for the remainder of today, then we could see 1625, 27, 28 on those being reached during the course of this morning. Hey guys, that's sterling against US dollar. I'll be back next with the US dollar against Swiss franc. Okay, the next pair we're looking at is US dollar against Swiss franc. Let's have a look at the daily time frame. You'll notice that the US dollar gained favor the past couple of days, and we've seen a nice bounce. Previous support 935, and sure enough we've seen a bounce to the upside. The only factor in play now is the 50 period moving average moving in above it at the the 960 mark, and you can see that the Asian market trading session, we've seen it trading slightly lower and during the course of the evening, and now we're back up to the highs, but very indecisive. Okay, this is on a daily. CTC is red across the board. Okay, and we have the 50 period moving average now moving just above the line 61 area. Okay, so back down into your trading today, guys. Trading close to a ceiling level, and you can see that if I look at a 4-hour chart, for example, and draw my resistance levels, my trend lines. Okay, the trend line is above. You can quite clearly see that there is resistance in this area. Okay, we are trading above all the moving averages. It's great for the 4-hour. You can see that CTC is changing now, but our first hesitation is this trend line. The major trend line on a 4-hour is governing this. We're still trading below the trend line. We're trading above this trend line. Okay, we saw it bottom out at 1300, 930. We need to be trading above this, 960 at least, for us to see a change in market sentiment. Okay. You go into our hourly chart, you can see there's nice extensions to the upside. Swing highs, which governs an uptrend. Swing, swing, swing. These swings are higher than the previous ones, showing you that movement. And as we've gone higher, you can see that we're trading above or close to the 960, which is what we want to be trading higher than. Okay, so if we can find support above 961, ideally it would show us that we're trading higher on our 4-hour time frame. I can just bring that up for you. 961 would definitely be above the trend line. It will definitely be above our daily 50% moving average line. You can see how it's governed this trend on a daily time frame. So we don't want to be caught with our pants. We've got to see a definite close. See this one over here, for example, that was not a close higher than the 50 period moving average, and a lot of people are taking this trade only for it to go against them. So we don't want the same repeat of what's happened before. We want to see a clear movement by this pair. So anything trading above 965 or 970 would definitely be confirmation that we're seeing higher. We're going to see higher highs. Okay, because break above this, then you got another resistance level here, 96778 here. So keep that in mind, guys. Okay. So first thing for you on the chief is to watch out of this high that we here just prior to 960. Okay. If it breaks above 960, if it trades higher than 960, then we're looking at a possible further upside movement, because on the 15 minute you can see we'll be trading higher than its ultimate high, but also be trading higher than the daily high and that trend line. Okay. So we don't want to be faked in. See this 9585. There's a definite resistance level here, but there's also a resistance level above that at 960 on a bigger time frame. So by saying to yourself, listen, yeah, great, if it's trading above here, that's fantastic, but wait for the pullback, the consolidation, the sentiment tell us that they're happy at these high prices, and it's found support above here for us to capitalize on the upside of that. The last thing we want to do is see a breakout, a pullback back, because then what it's done is just faked you into the trade and just pulling you back. Okay, and it happens all the time, guys. So rather be waiting, biding your time, at least for the sterling, for the US session. See what happens in this morning session to see if we can actually see a break higher and then trade higher, and then you will see the US market take it further. Hey guys, that's the US dollar against Swiss franc. Last pair today will be the US dollar against Japanese yen. I'll see you in a couple. Okay, the US dollar against Japanese yen being our last pair for today for our 4 majors analysis. Let's have a look at the daily time frame. You've seen the US dollar, like we saw on Chief, gain strength over the past couple of days. This, you can see a bottom now at 8100. Previous bounce just here in the latter stages or the early stages of 2011. And this early Feb, we saw another bounce, and we've seen the US dollar capitalize on some market movement. Yeah, just one thing to remember: the previous swings are still down. Okay, you can see that we come from an upside and we're still trading lower. Always important to be aware of that. Okay, you can see that if I just put a trend line on our daily time frame, you can see this is in a high, and you have had lower swings as prices gone down. This swing over here just pretty much matched it at 8300, but we're still trading lower. And we're still trading lower than most of the moving averages, bar the 20 period moving average, where you can see that price action at the moment now is trading slightly higher. If we find support at this level, it'll only mean that we can see further upside movement to at least this trend line, in particular the 50 period moving average, which is still acting as a resistance level on top of this account. Remember that. For this to be really positive, we need to see it trading at least above all these two intraday moving averages, i.e. the 20 and 50, but all importantly above the 8300 mark. Okay, very important, because that was previous resistance, and quite a strong one, because on the second attempt it failed to break this one. Okay, so very important. You can break, if we can trade higher than this trend line, the 50 period, as well as the 8300 mark, then we're going to see the US dollar rally at least for some time, because then you can see that the market sentiment is definitely bullish, and we can see further upside movement. be aware, CTC is still negative daily time frame. Okay, so if it's doing that intraday, great, take your pips, but be aware that we have a trend line, the 50 period moving average, not too far away at 82.50, 82.70, 57, thereabouts. Okay, let's have a look at intraday. Look at the 4 hour, for example. You can see that straight away. You can see all those swings down to the downside. Look at what the 200 period moving average is doing here at the moment, acting as resistance. It's happened in the past. We saw break higher, a lot of wicks. This happening around trend, okay, and that happening around a daily 50 period moving average. Okay, we don't want to be caught in that, not if we can. Okay, so what we need to do is see price action dictate, and by doing so, or seeing further upside movement, we will see it trading above the 200 period moving average as well as this trend line. And I did mention if it's trading above the 82.60 mark, at least, if you look at it over here on a daily time frame, 82, 50, 60, above the 50 period moving average, then we could be looking for further upside movement. Okay, so be aware of that, guys. If we do see any market movement today, it would be stagnated because it's testing a 200 period moving average. Okay, very strong resistance level. We're seeing it happen here. Okay, be very, very aware of it. You can see here, for example, on our shorter term time frames, 30 minute, 15 and 5, moving sideways. Asian market, not much happening. 82.15 was a clear support area on a 30 minute time frame. It needs to be trading above the 82.50 now to see further upside movement. Okay, we don't want to be trading or getting caught in this. Okay, and remember that seeding level is thereabouts on our bigger time frames. So watch out for market volatility. It's trading above the 200 period moving average on a, you can see that already on our hourly chart. It's trading above all the moving averages. So the momentum is still to the upside on our shorter time frames, but be aware of the resistance level on our longer time frames, i.e. our 4 hour and our daily. We're still governed by a downtrend, a negative downtrend. Okay, so it needs to be trading at least above 82.50 for clear signs of further upside movement. Hey guys, that's it for today. I hope it was beneficial to you. Hopefully we'll find out today if we are moving house. There might be some sporadic. Maybe we've got a lot of things to move over if the move does go ahead. If not, then we'll definitely keep you guys informed as the week progresses. All the best. Take care.